Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Planescape Torment. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're chose to join me today here in the Smoldering Corpse Bar as we mess around with Ignus. I'm not really sure I'm gonna have him join the team, or maybe I will. You know what? He's evil though, so that can be a little bit of a problem. Actually, I haven't looked at my at the alignments of my characters. Let's do that. So how do I do that? I press over here. Also, I was listening to this soundtrack. It's amazing. This one is really, really good. I really like it. I think it might be my favorite. The one for this place. Of course, you'll need to look up online and just so you don't just get me shouting at the same time. So our alignment right now is neutral good, which is to be expected. Really, the alignment would be at the end of the game. That's the one I'm probably looking for or looking at or something. Over here we have Dakon. He is lawful neutral, which is actually kind of directly opposed to his chaotic neutral origins. As I get that eye, but that's why he's weird. Over here we have Morte, who is a chaotic good. Yeah, Minsk from Baldur's Gate 2 would like him. Not from Baldur's Gate 1, because his neutral good in Baldur's Gate 1. Over here we have, well, I'm pretty sure Minsk would like Morte. Mort, that's the one. Over here we have Anna, who is chaotic neutral. Okay, so we're generally on the neutral side of things, and she is lawful neutral. Okay, so those two go along. Good to know. And I suppose them to kind of go along as well, maybe? Not really. We don't really hear too much. Let's read her biography, actually. We read the biography of every other one. I might as well read hers. My past is not a long one, at least by Tenari standards. I do not know if you are familiar with the Tenari, but we are a race of the Abyss, a staggered series of planes filled with chaos and evil hearts. I am a Tenari fiend, a succubus. I grew up upon the first planes. Okay, so she said that to me as well. So she sold me. Fortunately, the Batazu are a proud species. Okay, so that's what she told me. And the more you are revealed to yourself, I believe there is a truth to the multiverse. Even if that truth is that there is no truth at all, I believe that the planes are meant to be experienced, and the more one experiences in traveling, in joy, in pain, in merriment, or in suffering, the more the multiverse reveals itself to you, and the more you are revealed to yourself. So, very much two very, very different, very, I said they were getting along with each other. I think they're very different attitudes towards knowing yourself and knowing the universe from Dakon and from her. It's interesting. I wonder if the game is gonna use that in the future. I really would like to see just the reactions of the characters for some. I mean, that's the cool thing about BioWare games, really. It's the fact that characters are so involved. Your companions are so involved in the quests, and not just are not just there as just a helping hand. Or maybe have a quest for them and all that sort of stuff. It's because they have opinions about the quests. And unfortunately, in Baldur's Gate, it doesn't actually happen that much, but I hope it does in this game, because...
What's the holdup?
I'm just talking. It's a Let's Play, you idiot. It's not just gameplay, it's Let's Play. Just Let's Play! Let's have a chat with Ignus. This crackling, billowing creature twists slowly above an iron grill up on the floor of the bar. Yeah, we did this. I have the Endless Water, yeah. I wonder if this decanter of endless water will do something. You tilt the decanter over the grill and begin to pour. A small stream of ice blue water pours from the decanter and touches the flames of the grill with a violent hissing and a rush of steam. As if in a response to this challenge, the decanter seems to lunge forward, falling onto the grill and shattering. By the hells! Hissing billows of the steam and a furious crackling noise rushes from the grill, spilling over you and forcing you to cover your ears and turn away. There is a scream, a cackling, a terrible sound like 100 buildings burning, people screaming, their screams being cut short by the roar of flame and melting flesh. Okay, I'm gonna cover my ears and block out the sound. As you put your hands over your ears to block out the sound, you feel a stickiness on your hands, like hot cheese or candle wax. Your ears are bleeding from the sound. You draw your hands back and see them covered with chunks of melted flesh filled with bloody swirls. Ah, lovely. I'm gonna try and get out of the bar. No, I'm not. You are about to run from the bar, anything to get away from the sound, when suddenly all falls silent, except for a jagged crackling coming from the grill. You turn. On the grill lies the decanter of endless water, now nothing but shards and steam. Above it is the creature, flames still trailing from its body, floating over the bar's floor. It is staring at you, its eyes flickering like two torches. I know you.
Yes.
Oh boy. The creature's face splits, charred flesh peeling away from its jaw so that it might speak. Its voice crackles, burns, roars through the creature's chest, and with every word, flakes of cinder and ash spit from its mouth and drift into the air. You can barely stand to look at the thing. The blazing radiance surrounding it is terrible to behold. Ignus.
Yes, long have I slept dreams of flames. I am yours, till death comes for us both.
We shall see. Oh boy. What? He's... Oh boy. He's now a companion.
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay, well, let's have a chat with him.
Yes.
Ignus, what happened to you to make you this way? This way. The small pocket of flesh on Ignus's cheek pops and runs in a steaming trickle down his jaw. This way Ignus always was. But you look human. Or at least you look like you were human once. Ignus twists, hunching his head forward as his body spins slowly above the ground. The effect is much like a fiery whirlwind, thermals streaming off his body and distorting the air around him. Still Ignus, always Ignus. Never mind then, I had some other question. As you open your mouth to speak, Ignus suddenly whirls on you. You are forced to choke back your words as the heat from his frame floods over you. Ignus might you be, sparks in bodies always seeking to rise. Sparks in bodies? What do you mean? All things burn inside. Ignus's head cranes back and throws his arms wide, spirals of flame and heat traveling up his arms. You only need to be kindled with flames to become Ignus. So might you have been Ignus. So you're saying everyone has the potential to become like you, with the right spark? I think that's what he's saying, but it might be more towards his alignment than anything else. Yes, Ignus grins, cocking his head to one side, ashes falling from his skull and being swept up in the flaming wreath that surrounds him. Yeah. Oh boy, I had some other questions for you. And he hisses at me. Your heart jumps as Ignus soars several feet into the air, and his jaw tears open, fiery trails spilling forth like a nest of snakes. No more talk and questions. Silence. Yeah, but I wish to speak of the flames, Ignus, and of the burning. Your words are like oil, and you watch them fill Ignus's eyes, fanning the flames you see there. Flames? Ignus drifts down slightly, the heat around him rising, as if in interest. Speak, Ignus will listen. Ignus, what happened to you? Oh no, I asked that already. Ignus, is it true you burned down the alley of dangerous angles? Ignus's face splits, the flesh around the corners of his mouth cracking, then remelting into charred, sneering red and black pieces. Yes, a dream shall Ignus share. Apparently I can say yes, but yeah, maybe later. For now I wish to speak more of burn. But a torrent of flames pour from Ignus, and you take a step back, the air bending from the heat. Streets at night, so cold. Ignus burned the buildings, the dwellers. All ran from Ignus, the flames, then the buildings were as flames. Screams as dwellers became torches. Yeah, I've heard enough, Ignus. Buildings as skeletons, angles, bodies as skeletons, reds and oranges and blacks and flames spreading, caressing such lights. Ignus's fury dies. As I said, I had heard enough. The reeds of flame surrounding him ebbing somewhat. He seems to be lost in thought, perhaps lost in memory. And Ignus was pleased. Okay, I have other questions for you. Okay, so yeah, basically I need to go with that. I always need to promise that I'm gonna talk of burning things. What were you doing in the smoldering corpse bar? For a moment you don't think Ignus has heard you, when suddenly the fires in his eyes dim slightly and he gives a soft hiss, cinders and ash dancing at the edges of his jaw. Ignus once knew nothing of flames. Yeah? Once Ignus knew nothing of flames. He set small fires, tiny flames, tiny flickerings, small bits of flame. Ignus hisses again, ashes and fiery motes drifting from the ruin of his mouth. The fires grew. Ignus set fires in their streets, and lit the fires of anger in their hearts. Yeah? You speak, but Ignus doesn't seem to hear you. He seems to be somewhere else, as if reliving a memory through his words. Against your will, you stop and listen. They sought to punish Ignus. The small flies from the hive. They wished to see Ignus burn after Ignus set fire to their streets. Tiny magelings, you hedge wizards, rune casters. Tiny sparks of magic came to punish Ignus for hurting their loved ones. They sentenced Ignus to burn, made Ignus a torch, a spitting flame, burning and burning. It was justice, they said. Justice. You watch mesmerized as Ignus begins slowly turning again as he did above the grill in the smoldering corpse. But it was not a sentence. There is so much flames and pain that there is no pain. There is light and heat, and the flesh runs a tallow across the bones. And for the first time, Ignus is pleased. Ignus stops his rotation and his gaze falls upon you. As it does, the fires in his eyes flare, and a charred green splits his features, the flesh crackling and bubbling as it melts and streams across his face. Ignus wears the face of all hells, of flames, and his next words are spoken like a death sentence, not only for you, but for everyone, everywhere. When the plains burn and all life is torches, then Ignus shall at last be at peace. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not gonna die of flames. That's for sure. You're not gonna die of anything. Well, maybe he is actually, because he's in my party. So yeah. I wish to speak more of flames and burning, Ignus. Ignus, I spoke with the storyteller in the hive, and he mentioned that someone taught you these things. Who? Of learnings and teachings, you know. Gouts of flame erupt from Ignus's mouth in a horrid semblance of laughter. You always taught Ignus. Ignus, master. You were. Me? Are you sure?
Updated my journal.
Ignus's voice drops and the crackling of flames dies. Yes, it is the only reason Ignus obeys you. Flames rise around him in a crackling spiral, till death comes to us both. Your words to me, to your student Ignus. Ignus has not forgotten, master. Ignus, it must have been long ago when you learned the art. Are you absolutely sure it was me? Yes, Ignus cackles. Yes, the face has changed, but many lessons you taught Ignus. If my face has changed, how do you know? Inside all things tiny flames. The spark, the flames, the same. No matter what the skin. Skin can bleed, skin can burn, but the inner flame remains. Ignus, this is important. Can you remember anything about me? Ignus hisses, and for a moment his features flicker as at first you think it's the flames, but it's not. It's the flickering of memory. Okay, well, let's surrender to that memory. The crackling of Ignus's flame subsides, lessening as the charred bones of Ignus's body fold up, twisting into itself until his limbs lie motionless, becoming a stack of wood within a huge iron fireplace. You are staring into a fire burning brightly within a vaulted room. The fire crackles and spits embers onto the stone floor. Okay, so that what happened to Ignus right there was just the memory shaping itself, not not him dying. I thought he was dying there, but yeah. The fire crackles and spits embers onto the stone floor, motes rising from the fireplace. Faintly, from a darkness behind you, you can hear the rasp of someone breathing. I can hear you. Step into the light. There is the shuffling of sandals, and a frail youth steps into the edges of the firelight. His wide black eyes catch the flames and mirror them. He is nervous. You can hear his muscles shaking, his voice trembling, just enough to increase your irritation. Forgive my intrusion, master. You have already intruded, supplicant. You did so with intention. I will hear it now. A supplicant. That over there might be very, very relevant. I will hear it now, then you will leave me to my thoughts. The boy takes a deep breath and glances at the fire. Master, I dreamed of flames again. Oh, it's this guy. Okay, so it's not... Wait a minute, that might be the reason then. If he was a supplicant already, that might be why he can't die with that. He's just basically cursed. Or maybe a new type of being or something. I dreamed of flames again last night. They felt real. And you said that we were to come to you if... It was a dream, nothing more. Leave. The boy does not move. His brows draw together, and slowly he displays his hands, the flesh around the fingers blackened and burned. How did your hands come to be burned, supplicant? I awoke and my hands were as ash. The boy meets your gaze. He is still trembling faintly, but there is an eagerness in his voice which angers you. I dreamed I soared above the earth, and the ground and sky were as fire. The world itself was so bright that it hurt to look at it, master. And when I woke, my hands, they were burned, as if I had held a flame within my hands. Okay, I want to say something about this because it's relevant to something that I kind of grew up with. And I don't really understand. I'm now, as I read this, I don't understand why it didn't shape my perception more of things more than it actually did. For a long while, I would say up until the age of about 16 or 17, I thought, or I believed, it's not the thought, it's the I believed that dreams could shape reality like this, like very much this, like you see in movies, like or, you know, like in fiction, I say, you get stabbed in a dream, and in real life, I'm bleeding from there. Now, there is a lot of things. There's a lot of stories that could be explained other way, but of course, in fiction, it's like dramatic things, like you go to bed normal, and then you dream that I don't know, that you're burning, and then you wake up all burned up like this guy. So what happened to me when I was about 5 years old, I would say, probably a little bit younger, and I always remember that, was I had a dream that, for some reason I was afraid of lions. That doesn't matter. It wasn't a long-lived fear, so it was just a temporary fear, like all kids tend to have. So I was afraid of lions, and I was running from one, and you know how in dreams you can rarely run. You can fly or fly very low, but running is not really a thing that you tend to do because you're all jumbled up in the covers of your bed. That's why you can't run. But it's true. But I couldn't run, and the lion basically came in and bit my leg. Now I was a little kid. I didn't have the concept of what happened when a lion actually eats somebody. I'm not even sure that I knew that a lion wanted to eat somebody, but he bit me like a cat would bite me, and I knew. So he bit me in my right leg, I think it was, or maybe the left leg. It doesn't matter. It was in a specific leg, and I woke up. It was early morning, so it was morning already. So I just woke up and didn't go to bed again. But my foot hurt. Now that's normal, actually. If you're dreaming of having pain, the pain is not going to go away immediately, and it might be the other way around. Like if you have a cramp, you might be reasoning why you have that cramp, and you just might be having a nightmare because you have that cramp. That's an actual thing, that the mind just goes to interesting places. At least that's what happens to me. I'm pretty sure I read about this, but at any rate, what happened was I woke up, and at the back of my ankle, right where it hurt in the dream, I had a cut. And I just figured, oh, this happened to me. I didn't actually tell anybody, but every once in a while I would say, oh, but there was this one time when I was a kid that I had a dream, and I didn't have that cut when I went to bed, and then I had it when I woke up, and I couldn't have possibly cut myself while I was in bed. But now that I was reading this, I was thinking of that cut and what it looked like. And the cut, I was a kid, and by the time I still didn't wear glasses, so I probably didn't see it very well. And it was in the morning, so I can't see anything in the morning anyway. But that cut was what was probably a blister. And I probably either had the blister not pop before I went to bed and it popped in the night or something, or it was already popped because it was inside a shoe and I didn't notice it, and during the night it basically infected or got a little bit upset, because that's how wounds work, and that it just started to ache. And that's probably what happened. So if something like this were to happen, something like exactly what's going on in here with Ignus, where he just wakes up with his hands burned, the first thing you should jump to conclusions is, who the hell burned your hands after you went to bed? Because it's possible that he wouldn't wake up with that. It would just have that dream that he had. Especially if he was having that pain. Especially if he was... Because the thing is, if you're having a nice dream and you have pain in the nice dream, you're going to wake up immediately. If you're having a nightmare, you're not going to wake up. Because you're reasoning and you're creating a rationale for that pain, so you know what's going on in your head, so you can't be broken out of your dream as easily, because it's the nightmare. So that's the thing. And actually, now that I'm talking about it, that actually happened a few times. When there was one time where I don't know what happened. It was something. It wasn't catastrophic, but it was something really serious in my home. And then everybody was up all through the night, and I never woke up. But I had a huge amount of nightmares during that night. and I remember them. And when I woke up, I remember remembering them. That's the thing. And basically it was because of all the noises, and I was just hearing people step. I had a recurring nightmare when I was a kid, when I was in a sort of a hobbit house. That's the best I can describe the house, but it wasn't influenced by the Hobbit because I hadn't read it, or by Lord of the Rings. But it was like a hobbit house, and there was these huge tunnels in the house, and I would hear footsteps. And what those were actually footsteps from people just going around the house, because I went to bed at like 9 or 10, and then my dad would still be around. But it's just saying that the connection between dreams and reality can be very, very spooky and still be real. This, what he's saying, could still be real because it happened to me, and it was probably what I said. But still, well, it could have been anything. It could be my cat as well. I remember that happening. My cat was sleeping on top of my bed, and then I scared him in the night or something. I remember him running away. And that I can explain. I'm going to such a tangent. That one I can explain. Basically, I woke up, and I woke up because the cat scratched my back, and I was dreaming that there was somebody behind me, tapping me, and I was like, "Ow!" That hurt. And that was that basically. Basically, I dreamt, but then I realized it was the cat that didn't like me for some reason in the middle of the night. Whatever. So anyway, continuing the memory. You lie, supplicant. You have come to me with a story, and now you are in danger of angering me because of the story I've just told you. No, master. The boy's face glistens with a sweaty sheen of fear. No, upon my life, I do not. You burned yourself with a candle, supplicant. You thrust your hand without one of the pyres in the vault of... You thrust your hand within one of the pyres in the vault of currents. Now you come to me and tell me a dream burned you. I tire of your lies. The boy falls silent, and to your surprise, his face clenches in anger. No, I do not lie. It was the dream that burned me, master. As you said, it might if we felt the power stirring. They were your words, and I came to repeat them to you and tell you they are true. He holds up his hands. Look, master. Oh, I definitely, if I was the master here, I definitely wouldn't have believed this guy. If I had told him that could have happened, he could definitely be lying, and just me telling him it's a lie would only make him more steady in his lie. Yeah, I'm gonna grab his hands. Well, it's the only thing I can do, really. Before the boy can react, your hand, huge in comparison, lashes out, crushing his burned hands in its grip, and the boy screams, echoing in the vault. With a snarl, and you hurl him to the ground in front of the fireplace, and there is a sharp crack as his knees strike the flagstones. Oh boy. Look into those flames, supplicant. Raise your head. Look. The boy is shuddering from the pain from his knees. You probably broke his things those things take months, if not years, to heal. Yeah, you watch. Maybe that's why he floats. Huh? Because we're talking to Ignus over here. The boy is shuddering from the pain from his knees. You watch tears blur his eyes as he raises his head to look into the fireplace. The flames cast his face in a red, gaunt glow. Is that what you wish to hold, supplicant? Is the shaping of flames that's what stirs your heart? Know what flames can burn, and if you would learn their power, you must suffer their touch. The boy is silent, staring into the flames. He seems mesmerized. His tears have dried in the heat, and the shaking is gone. The flames are his focus. He is not listening to you, and you feel fury washing over you. Well, this guy is a prick. If that is what consumes you, enough for you to intrude upon my meditations, then I shall teach you of the shaping of flames, supplicant. Your hand lashes out and clamps up onto the boy's wrist. He howls as you drag him closer to the fireplace, then, because he's got broken knees, then probably just one anyway, then thrusts his hands into the coals. There is a crackling, a hissing of burning flesh, and he screams, such terrible yet. To learn, you must suffer, supplicant. You must allow yourself to be burned by the power of that which you wield. Know its torment, and you shall know how to use it against your enemies.
Updated my journal.
Your vision clears, the memory streaming away like smoke. Ignus is hovering above you, his head cocked to one side, and an insane blackened green smeared across his face. Master, Ignus has not forgotten your teachings. Yeah, as I was saying, that guy's a prick. You don't do that to a chair. Actually, it's not I said that the guy's a prick. Yeah, you don't do that to a chair, let alone a living thing, even if he is just a soulless thing or whatever. A supplicant is. I don't really know what this situation is. But the reason why I said that guy's a prick is because of his anger. Of his anger. That was the reason. That was the reason. He's quick to anger and he's an idiot because of that. I wish to speak more of flames and burning. Yeah. So, Ignus, your mastery of the art. Can you teach me any of your powers? Ignus once knew much. No longer. Ignus burns in suffering. Ignus learns. A tiny flame gusts from his mouth like laughter, and a stream of embers spit forth. Suffer. Learn. I'm willing to suffer for such knowledge. Because I can. As you are about to speak the words, you feel a crawling sensation in the back of your skull. You are suddenly struck with the certainty that the knowledge Ignus has to teach you may permanently scar you, but you don't know how you know this. I don't think I want... Do I want... Yes. I am willing to suffer for such knowledge. It's Torment, after all. Suffer. Flames flicker eagerly along the edges of Ignus' mouth, spiraling up along the melted ruins of his face. Burn? Pieces of self are burned away. Yeah, Ignus. Ignus may still teach much. Ignus, I wish to learn. Can you teach me more of the arts? Oh boy. Where flames once burned, one may send them again. Before you can react, Ignus' claw lashes out and clutches your fingers, and with a greedy hiss, he burns it. And through the searing pain, you close your eyes and scream. You force your eyes open to see the burning mass of your hand from where Ignus touched it. He floats above, uncaring, cradling your finger, then snaps the tip off, leaving just the base. He hisses. That's a word. You don't need to do that. He hisses, cinders and ash drifting from his mouth, and he flicks the charred remains of your finger back to you. What did you do? That was my new finger! That was my... Well, might have not been my new finger. Teachings, Ignus cackles, the sound now strangely painful to your ears. To learn, one must suffer. I wish to learn more. Suffer? Okay, I can do more? Okay, maybe some other time. Let me see what I did with my... Oh. Do I still have my finger? I have all my things. Allows user to copy Seeking Flames into spellbook. Oh. This is your charred right index finger. The tip has been snapped off, and the flesh that once surrounded the bone has been turned to ash. It was but a touch from Ignus, but it was enough to leave lingering blackened scars on your hand. To make matters worse, you notice that your flesh has healed slowly and poorly from the wound. If Ignus were to attack you with a rage, he might be able to muster enough heat and flames that recovering would be difficult. Perhaps even destroy you? The thought doesn't please you. Well, I'm not sure if he does or not, because after all, I'm seeking my own death, but yeah. Ignus has hinted that this charred remain of your finger somehow holds a fraction of his infernal power, now passed on to you. To invoke its power, you must slice off your finger again, place this stump there, oh boy, and then let the flesh heal over it. When this occurs, the traces of Ignus' remains upon the finger will kindle a small portion of knowledge upon you. Okay. I succeeded in learning the spell. How good is it? Seeking Flames. As the maintainer of life, fire is a true blessing. Yet as it warms, it also burns. The Seeking Flames grants an enemy target in a 50-feet radius. -1. Oh, it's not a very good one. -1 to attacks and -1 to their saving throws. Yeah. It's just a spell, I guess. That's the reason why. I mean, I want fire. I want Fireball, actually. I want the Fireball, if I can help it. So I'm gonna learn more things. But for right now, I'm Colonel RPG. And this has been Planescape Torment. I really hope you've enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and leave a comment. Like the video, but above all, thank you so much for watching. And I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.